Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today we are going to discuss some of the basic properties of circle named as circle properties. So let's start off with the first one. So the first property is regarding the angle formed in a semicircle. Now what is this concept? This concept says that whenever there is a line which is passing through the center of the circle and connecting the two ends of the circumference of the circle, it makes the diameter. So this line from this point to this point whole, this is representing the diameter, right? And if we consider these 2 points as A and B, so any angle which is formed from the diameter towards the circumference means towards the boundary. For example, this angle is formed at point D, and by using the same 2 points A and B, an angle is formed on the circumference. Let's say this point is E. So this angle is always equals to 90 degree. So the key point is that the angle has to be drawn from the diameter or from the two ends of the diameter at any point on circumference. So these are just the additional point. Now, since this angle is formed inside a semicircle, see, this whole angle is formed inside a semicircle. If I highlight this portion, this whole angle is formed within a semicircle like this. So that's why this angle is known as the angle formed inside a semicircle. And this angle is always equals to 90 degree, or it's a right angle triangle. So it's always a right angle triangle, right? So if the questions come up in your mind, okay, what would happen if we draw the angle below the semicircle? So yes, in that case, again, if I take any 2 points on the boundary, let's say I take this point as F, and I join this with this, like this straight line, and I join this point again with this, the diameter of the circle. So these two angles will always be equals to 90 degrees. So if I join this with this like this, so again, these 2 points will make an angle of 90 degrees. So that's the concept of the first theorem, that the angle formed inside a semicircle is always equals to 90 degrees, right? Now moving on towards the next theorem. Okay, so this theorem is regarding the angle formed at the center of the circle and angle formed at the circumference. For example, if I take any 2 points, let's say A and B here, and I join these 2 points here at the center of the circle. This point is representing the center C of the circle, right? And if I take the same 2 points A and B and I join them on the boundary, or you can say on the circumference of the circle like this. So what is the relation? That the angle formed at the circumference, if I take it at X, so the angle formed at the center would be equals the double of it. It will be twice of it. So that's what the concept is saying, that if you form an angle at the center of the circle, and that angle would be equals to the twice of the angle formed from the same point on the circumference. So these are the key points of this theorem. But the main point which you need to memorize is that angle has to be formed. Angle has to be formed from same points. So from same points, the angle have been formed at the center, and from the same point, A and B, the angle have been formed at the circumference. So the relation between the angle would be twice if they are formed from the same point, right?